What you're looking at is actual footage of what we went through the past 2 weeks, nonstop bombardment of civilian communities. Fortunately for my family in Beit Shemesh, this only happened one night. But I can tell you that one night alone, one night of going through that was enough to traumatize my 5-year-old daughter. She was not able to sleep in her room anymore. And imagine what it was like for those communities in Ashdod and Ashkelon and Sderot who were living with this, not just daily, but multiple times a day. And for many of them, they only had seconds. In Sderot, 15 seconds to get to a bomb shelter as soon as a siren goes off. What could you possibly accomplish during your day when you know at any moment, probably multiple times during the day, you've got 15 seconds to get to safety? But amazingly, in the previous Gaza war, they interviewed one of the Hamas commanders, and they asked him, why do you guys have such bad aim? And if you looked at the statistics, they actually sent over 4,500 rockets into Israel. Each rocket has enough power to kill hundreds of people. Over 4,500 rockets, and every Jewish life is a whole world, and we mourn every single loss. But the fact that only around 10 people lost their lives of 4,500 rockets is unbelievable. So they said, what's wrong with your aim? And the Hamas commander said something unbelievable. He said, our aim is fine, but God is redirecting our missiles and causing them to miss their targets. This is from a Hamas commander. And a couple of the operators, the secular operators, Chiloni operators of the Iron Dome, they saw a missile that was coming in that was heading towards a major mall near Tel Aviv. So that right away, they aimed the Iron Dome system at that missile. They fired the interceptor rockets, and it missed its target. They had one more chance. They fired another interceptor, and again, it missed. At that point, they knew it was inevitable. The casualty count could be in the thousands. They contacted emergency services to get over there with everything they have. And at the last moment, this unusual hurricane-like wind came out of nowhere and blew the missile into the water. There was another story in this recent war with a missile that landed in a home in Sderot. It landed in a baby's room, and the baby came out unscathed, not even an injury. We are fortunate to have a God who loves us, who is there for us, who protects us, who believes in us. And sometimes it's hard for us to see God's hand in our lives. Sometimes when we have struggles, when things aren't going the way we would like them to, or hoping them to, sometimes we have difficulty seeing God. But perhaps we could learn and take some inspiration from this Hamas commander. Because if someone who is bent on our destruction, that thinks we should all die and Israel should be erased, if even he could declare that God is protecting the Jewish people, then maybe we could find it within ourselves to also see God's hand and to see that he's there for us and that he loves us. So I want to give us all a blessing. Number one, that there should be a real and lasting peace for everyone, for the whole world. Number two, that God should shower us with his blessings, be there for us through thick and thin, through the good times and bad. And number three, that we should be able to see God's hand in our own lives, to feel his love, to embrace him, and to develop the closest and most beautiful and loving relationship that we possibly can. Thank you all so much.